I just wanted to let you know that something bad has happened today at work. I thought I should be the one to tell you.
What's happened?
Well, I was just wiping down some tables and doing the general clean down for the end of the night when a guy came into the restaurant and pointed a gun at me. He demanded that I give him all of the money in the register, which obviously I did because I'm not about to lose my life over some minimum wage job. Anyway, after I gave him all of the money in the register, he left, thank goodness. But I had to call the police and the manager to let them know what had happened, which is when everything went downhill. Ironically, because you'd think being held in a robbery would be more traumatic than dealing with a manager. But you'd be wrong.
What do you mean?
Well, I called my manager and let him know what was going on. I thought he'd at least be a little bit sympathetic towards the situation and what I'd just gone through, but he just started yelling at me, telling me that I shouldn't have given the money over and that corporate would be incredibly angry with me over that. I mean, he was acting as if I should have given my life for a measly few $100.
Yes, well, managers can be like that.
Well, I just got incredibly fed up, so I told him that I quit, right there and then. It felt so good to be able to say that, though. I didn't want to be in an environment where the people put money above someone's life. It just didn't feel good.
Really, Daisy? You couldn't just ignore your manager like a normal person?
Huh? That's all you can say? I just told you that I was a victim of a robbery and you're more bothered about me quitting my job?
Well, yes. I mean, you're not hurt, are you? And we need the money that you brought in to pay the rent. Sometimes you just need to ignore the idiots of the world and get on with your life. It's kind of part of the whole being a grown-up thing.
Being held up is not a part of the whole grown-up thing. And even if it does happen, the way that my manager handled the aftermath of it was not okay. He should have asked if I was okay, and then told me to go home to recuperate. Instead, he said that he would be telling corporate that it's all my fault that we lost money tonight, and that he'd make sure that I got in trouble for it. I am not going to work for someone like that, no matter how badly I need the money.
Well then, that's just selfish of you, isn't it?
What? How is that selfish of me? I just didn't want to be put in that situation again.
You're seriously asking me how it's selfish of you to quit your job? Honestly, Daisy, can't you do anything right? We needed the money from your job to pay the rent and bills and stuff. Now what are we supposed to do?
Well, not to sound petulant, but you are the mom here. My job shouldn't be the be-all or end-all of us living in our house. It was only meant as a way for me to save up a little bit of money whilst I looked for my own place to move into anyway.
Oh, unless you have a huge stash of cash of money hidden somewhere, you won't be buying anything. You'll just be living homeless on the streets.
Huh? What are you on about? What do you mean I'm going to be homeless?
Well, I've been thinking it over for quite a while now, but now that you've quit your job, I don't see any particular reason for you to remain living with me. I mean, now that you're not bringing in money, I really have no use for you. Unless you get another job and start paying me for rent and bills and stuff, of course.
Hang on, I'm really confused.
Jeez, it's a wonder you were able to hold on to your job for as long as you did. I'll say this once, in a way that even you'll be able to understand. I'm kicking you out of my house.
What? Seriously? Why? You can't just kick me out? I'm your daughter. Aren't you supposed to help me in these kind of situations? Plus, I have nowhere to go. I'll literally be out on the streets.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
How can you call yourself a mom when you're doing this to your own daughter?
Look, let's face it. You're a 20-year-old woman now, and really, you should be capable of looking after yourself. I shouldn't have to home you and look after you anymore. In fact, the minute you turned 18, you should have been out of my house. I don't want you here anymore, and the only reason I kept you around is because you were able to give me money. Now that you can't even do that, you're useless to me.
What?
Didn't you just hear me? You are useless. I don't want you around me anymore.
I just can't believe what I'm hearing right now. How can you be so cold and callous? You've raised me for the last 17 years. Does that honestly mean nothing to you?
I mean, Really, I've missed out on so much these last 20 odd years because of you. I think it's time for me to take back my life and start living again. I honestly can't wait. But I can't do that whilst you're still hanging around. So you're going to have to find somewhere else to live.
I don't know what to do or what to say. I've got nowhere to go.
Well, like I said, that's not my problem. You'll have to figure something out quick though, because I want you gone by the end of the week.
The end of the week? That's in 3 days. How am I supposed to find anywhere to go in such a short amount of time? No one will rent to me on 3 days' notice. Can't you wait until I've at least found a new job? Then I would be able to move out properly.
No, I'm not going to house a useless nobody. Regardless of whether you're my daughter or not, you're just going to have to deal with this by yourself. So, if I were you, I'd start packing as soon as you get back. And I'd do it quite quickly.
I can't believe that you're actually making me move out.
Yeah, well, that's life. Deal with it. Anyway, I'm bored of talking to you, so I'm going to go. Make sure you're out soon. Anything you don't take with you by Friday, I'm going to pack up and throw out. I don't want any of your junk cluttering my house any longer. Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Good. Anyway, see ya.
Hey, Frankie, are you free to talk? Sorry it's so late. I wouldn't normally message you this late, but I'm in kind of a desperate situation.
Hey Daisy, it's no worries. I was just watching a film with Tyler. What's up?
I don't really know where to start, but,
What's happened? Bad day at work?
that's only the half of it.
Okay, well, why don't you start from the beginning?
Right. Well, I quit my job at the restaurant today because I was robbed at gunpoint.
What? Are you okay? What happened?
Yeah, I'm okay. He just came in and told me to give him all of the money in the cash register, which I did because I value my life.
Good. It was the right thing to do. Places like that always have insurance to cover things like robberies, so the most important thing was that you didn't get hurt.
Well, I think you're the only one who thinks that.
What do you mean?
Well, after the robbery, I called the police and my manager to tell them what had happened. But all my manager had to say was that it was my fault that we'd lost money and that he would be telling corporate. I decided to quit because who blames the victim of a robbery? Then when I told my mom this, he decided that she no longer had any use for me as I wasn't bringing in any money that she could take off of me. So, she decided to kick me out of the house.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that does sound like an awful day. Are you okay? I mean, obviously not emotionally because that's a lot to happen in one day. But overall, are you okay? Are you somewhere safe?
Yeah, at the minute I'm at home. My mom, or should I say Sarah, as no actual mother would do something like this, has given me until the end of the week to pack up all of my things and move out.
But where are you going to go?
Actually, I was hoping I could possibly ask if I could crash with you and Tyler for a little bit. I know it's a lot to ask, and I wouldn't usually put you in this kind of situation, and you're free to say no. I don't want to force anything on you.
Whoa. Calm down, Daisy. Of course you can stay with me and Tyler. We both love you. I mean, you're like a sister to me. So if we can help out, then we are more than happy to do so.
Are you sure, Frankie? I don't want to put you or Tyler out. I mean, I'll get another job and I'll pay rent and stuff ASAP. Then when I'm earning again, I'll get a place of my own and get out of your hair.
Don't worry about any of that. You know I don't care about any of that. I'm just happy to help. Hang on, give me like 10 minutes and I'll get back to you.
Thank you so much, Frankie. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Hey, you do the same for me if the roles were reversed. Anyway, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Days, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Is everything okay? Or have you had second thoughts?
Huh?
It's okay if you have. I don't want to be a burden. So if you or Tyler don't immediately understand, I can find somewhere else to live.
Don't be silly. Me and Tyler were just moving some things out of the guest room so that it would be ready for you for whenever you wanted to move in. You could come over tonight if you wanted. I mean, if it helps to get away from your mom.
Oh, you are seriously the best, Frankie. I love you so much.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, you're more than welcome to come and stay with us for however long you need. You don't need to worry about moving out quickly or anything. We want to give you time to sort yourself out and figure out what you want to do and all that. Well, you're part of the family. Basically have been since the minute we became best friends. And family looks out for one another.
Thank you so much. You're seriously the sister I never had, you know?
I know, I'm awesome.
Definitely. Well, it's a bit late right now to come over, but I'll be over tomorrow. It's a bit late right now to come over, but I'll be over tomorrow, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll see you soon then.
See you soon.
Hey, Daisy darling. It's your mom here. How are you?
Hello, Sarah. I would appreciate it if you didn't call me Daisy, darling. We don't have that kind of relationship. Daisy will be just fine.
Jeez, no need to be all stiff and proper. It's only me, your mom.
Even more reason to be cautious? Why have you messaged me? You haven't bothered trying to contact me in the last 6 years since you kicked me out. Why now?
Oh, well, I just wanted to see how you were. Isn't a mom allowed to do that?
I don't think you can really call yourself my mom after you kicked me out. Although, I can probably guess what you...
What? I don't know what you're on about.
So, you haven't called me just to ask for money then?
No, of course not. I just wanted to say how proud of you I am. I saw the other day that you were in the up-and-coming businesswoman to watch, and I was just very impressed.
I see. And that's it? There's no other reason you wanted to talk?
Well, actually, there was one thing I wanted to ask you.
What was that?
You've got plenty of money now, don't you? And I just need a little bit to pay off some debts is all. So I think you can spare a little bit of money for the woman who raised you, don't you think? I mean, it's not like I meant to lose a load of money at the casino. I'm completely innocent in all of this. But the people who I borrowed money off of for the casinos think it's my fault that I lost it. Even though it's all the casino's fault, because they cheated me out of it.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't help me and give me some money, like 20 grand, then the loan sharks I used are going to take my house. I'll be out on the street with nowhere to go.
Well, that doesn't sound good. I mean, to be homeless so suddenly is a shock, right?
You have no idea.
Uh-huh. Apart from I do, because you did exactly the same thing to me. Exactly. But because I'm not a vindictive, horrible, and selfish person like you, I'll help you out. However, this is only a one-time thing, and after this, you are never to contact me ever again. Am I understood?
Yeah, I understand.
Good. I'll give you the 20 grand you owe the loan sharks. That should mean that you get to keep the house, right?
All my other expenses. I mean, I've still got bills to pay and stuff. I need money for food and the internet and everything like that.
Well, that's why you have a job.
But,
What?
well, I just thought that being your mother and all, you'd want to help me out a bit more, you know? Take care of me and make sure that I don't have to work or worry about money ever again. You've got more than enough money to do that, and even then, you could spoil me a little bit. You know, for raising you and all.
Ha! Are you kidding me? I'm not going to do anything like that. You might have raised me until I was in my 20s, but you never actually loved me or cared for me. I have the bare minimum because you couldn't be bothered to spend any money you earned on anything I wanted. I had to go and get a job as soon as I was able to just have a little bit of money to spend on myself. And even then, you took like half of it, claiming that it was for rent and stupid things like that. Half of it, claiming that it was for rent and stupid things like that. I know you just gambled it away though, or bought yourself whatever you wanted with it. Let's face it, you didn't raise me. I raised myself. You just kept me alive because you had to.
Well, that's not true.
It is true and you know it. So you can either take the 20,000 and leave me alone forever, or you can walk away with nothing and leave me alone forever.
No. I deserve more than just a measly 20 grand. I want 50% of your earnings.
No.
Ugh, fine then. If you're going to be so selfish and horrible, I don't want to know you. Get lost. Forever. You've disgraced our entire family.
Fine. That's it. I won't be giving you any more money.
Huh? You can't do that.
Well, I've changed my mind. I don't want to help someone who is demanding all of my money. You were lucky that I was considering giving you anything at all, but your greed has just ruined everything for you.
But what am I supposed to do now? I have no money to pay my debts.
That sounds like a you problem. You just have to figure that out yourself.
Fine then. Can't believe I raised such a selfish child.
Really? I'm surprised I turned out as good as I did, considering I had a narcissistic, selfish witch for a mother. I suppose I just took a look at you and decided that I wanted to be nothing like you at all. Anyway, goodbye for good. I'm making sure you can never bother me again from now on.
You're so selfish. Honestly, just you wait. I'll take what you owe me. I'll end up with all of your money. I will.
Uh-huh. You keep believing that if it makes you feel better. Anyway, yeah. After telling Sarah off, I decided to block her on every platform that I had. I wanted absolutely nothing to do with her after how she behaved towards me. She tried to harass me quite a bit after that, but I simply got my lawyers involved, who told her to leave me alone or they would file a harassment lawsuit. Needless to say, after that she left me alone. As for me, my business really took off. I've made a lot of money from my company and I couldn't be happier. I make sure to help Frankie out with whatever she needs. After all, she is my sister. It just goes to show that for every horrible person in the world, there are those who want to share their love and kindness to help whoever they can. I'm just lucky that I was found by some of the best people out there. Hi, Jason. I hope you're well. I was just wondering if you had signed those divorce papers yet. I wouldn't ask. It's just that my lawyers were waiting to finalize everything up.
Oh, hi Fleur. Yeah, sure. I haven't signed them yet, but I can get them done into you by the end of the day, if that's okay.
Yeah, that should be fine. So, how have you been?
Yeah, I've been okay. Just working as usual. How about you? How's the new job treating you?
Oh, yeah, it's going good. I've settled in nicely, made a few friends. I'm actually going out with a couple of the girls from work this weekend to try and get to know the city a bit better.
Oh, that's good. Hopefully you'll have a bit of fun then.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully it'll be okay. Have you been up to much?
Oh yeah, I've just been getting stuck into work really. It's been really busy lately. I've hardly got any chance to actually go home. I feel like I'm living at the office more than not.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I just mean that when we were together, you were at the office a lot. You hardly had any time to spend with me. That is kind of why we split up.
Well, I mean, I guess, but I wasn't the only one who caused us to break up. It took two people to split this relationship up.
What are you on about? I didn't do anything.
Oh, please, you were constantly nagging me and telling me to do everything under the sun that you could think of in the house. You also moaned at me about how much I was working, and I know that it was a lot, but it was the only way to afford the house we were living in and the lifestyle we were living as well.
Yeah, well, I guess you're sort of right. But I mean, you were the one who was mainly at work or something. Although, I guess my new job opportunity didn't help things.
Yeah, that had you out of the house a lot more once you had decided that you were going to take it. I mean, I'm happy for you, but it was the final nail in the coffin for us.
Do you really think that was what did it?
Well, I don't think it helped any.
Well, I guess not.
But as long as you're enjoying yourself, that's okay. I mean, some couples just aren't meant to last.
Yeah, I guess.
Though it probably didn't help that you started seeing that guy at your work.
Excuse you? I didn't start seeing anyone whilst we were together. Where on earth has this come from? Since when did you start accusing me of cheating on you?
Oh please, you can drop the act now. I know that you started seeing him near the end of our relationship. It was incredibly obvious. I mean, all that time you were spending at the office. Did you really think that you had me fooled? It wasn't a very good lie.
I wasn't lying. I was at the office and I was working. I would never cheat on you. Or anyone I was with for that matter. I'm definitely not that kind of person.
Then why were you spending so much time with him? Every other word out of your mouth at the time was how you and, what was his name again? George?
His name was Joe.
Ah, that's right, Joe. All you could talk about was how you and Joe had so much work to do and how you both needed to pull loads of overtime to get your work done on time. If there was ever a more blatant lie or poor cover-up, then that was it. No one spends that much time with someone, even if it's for work, if they don't like the person that they're with.
Well, of course I liked him. Joe was my friend. We worked together for quite a few years as we both started at the same time. We helped each other through a lot of difficult times, both in our jobs and in our personal lives. In fact, I knew Joe before I'd even met you. Surely if I had wanted to be with him, I wouldn't have dated and married you, right?
Well, I mean, not necessarily. He might not have been available at the time when we met, and then when he became single, that's when you decided to start your relationship with him. Regardless of if you were already married at the time or not.
You really think that I would do something like that? You really think that I am that horrible? That I would just simply abandon you and betray you in such a horrible manner? Well, I guess it's good to know what you really think of me then.
Well, you are the one who's trying to take me for everything I have in this divorce. I don't think a nice person would do something like that, do you? Leave the person they've been married to for the last 5 years with absolutely nothing, not even a penny to his name?
I am not taking you for everything that you have. I personally don't want that much from you. Just a little bit of money to cover the cost of the house, considering you're the one who is staying in it despite us buying it together. That's all I'm asking for. A buyout from the house.
You do realize that in this market, our house is upwards of $300,000, right? For me to pay you your half, I'm gonna have to sell the place anyway and move somewhere cheaper. I don't have $150,000 just lying around, you know? Effectively, you're kicking me out of my home, so thank you for that.
Jason, I'm sorry if that's what happens, but I put money into that place as well. How is it fair for you to keep the house and I get nothing, despite me putting a load of money into it as well? And not just in the initial buying of it, but the bills and the interior decorating of it. Most of those furnishings and things that actually make the house look nice were bought by me, and yet I'm not asking for those back. The most I want is the money that I am legally owed. It's not cheap moving to an entirely new state, you know. Plus, living in a city is twice as expensive as in a town, like where we are. I need financial aid so that I can actually live in the place where my job is. I don't think that's something that's unreasonable to ask.
Well, I think it is, especially when it forces your husband out onto the streets.
You won't end up on the streets. Even if you do have to sell the house, which isn't a necessity as you can remortgage it, you will still get $150,000, so you can either buy a new place or rent somewhere. And if you want to look around for a little bit, I know your mom will let you stay with her until you're ready to move somewhere else. So don't try and guilt trip me into not getting what I deserve when I have worked incredibly hard to get it in the first place.
Whatever, I don't care anymore. I'll find a new place to live and I won't let you know where it is. I want nothing to do with you after this divorce is over and done for. I'll get the signed papers to you as soon as possible, then we can finally be rid of one another.
Sounds good to me.
Fine. Now, if you don't mind, I've got to get back to work. We can't all just do nothing all day and call it work. So, I can't waste any more time listening to you whine.
Oh, please. The one whining about anything right now is you.
Keep believing that if you want to, but we both know the truth here.
Yeah, I think we do.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Fleur? It's been a little while.
Angela? Hi. Yeah, it has been a while. I don't think we've spoken since me and Jason first told everyone that we were getting a divorce. How come you're messaging me? Not that I mind you messaging me. I still think you're a lovely person, and what me and Jason are going through seriously has no impact on how I think of you and what I feel about you as a person. I'm kind of rambling. Are you okay? Is there a specific reason you messaged, or did you just want to talk?
No. There was a reason. Jason was in a car accident,
Huh?
and he is critically injured.
Hang on. What? How is that possible? I was literally just talking to him this afternoon. How on earth has this happened?
Apparently, he was on his way home from work after staying a little later at the office to finish off some work. He was just driving his normal route home when someone ran a red light whilst he was crossing it and smacked right into the driver's side of his car. It was a really bad wreck. Firemen were called, and they had to cut him out of his car. He was then airlifted to the nearest hospital, where he's been in intensive care all night. He's recently stabilized, or so the doctors say, which is why I thought I'd let you know. I had messaged you earlier, but I didn't want to say anything when I didn't know myself what was happening for certain. It was touch and go there for a while with him, and I was fearing the worst.
Oh, Angela, that's okay. I just wish I could have been there to give you a bit of comfort and to make sure you were okay. Or, well, as okay as you can be in this kind of situation.
Thanks.
So he's stable now? What did the doctors say? How bad are his injuries?
Well, they haven't told us everything, but they did say that
What? What is it?
he's going to be paralyzed from the waist down for the rest of his life.
What?
Yeah, he got pinned or something in the car and it damaged his spine. He's not going to be able to walk again.
Oh, that's awful. I don't know what to say. I just can't believe this has happened to him. He was perfectly fine this afternoon. I mean, we even got into an argument. Oh no. I don't want my last words to him to be an argument. I've got to come and see him.
But aren't you in a completely different state now? It'll take you ages to make it back.
It doesn't matter. I'll get the next flight out back home. I've just got to come and see him. I can't just leave him on his own, especially not at a time like this.
Well, okay then. But the doctors aren't actually letting people in to visit him yet, so you don't need to rush about too much. He's only just come out of intensive care, so they'll be monitoring him for a while yet, and I doubt anyone will be able to get in to see him until at least tomorrow.
Well, just keep me posted. I'll let you know once I've managed to get a flight and I'm on my way, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Fleur.
No, thank you, Angela, for letting me know what's happened. I know it's not easy, what with me and Jason and the divorce, and you probably think the worst of me, but I can't tell you how thankful I am to you that you let me know what's happened.
Well, I'll see you soon.
Of course. And if anything changes in the meantime, just let me know. I'll have my phone on me at all times. And if you're able to see him before I get there, and if he's awake, just let Jason know that I'm on my way.
Okay. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hey, Fleur, how's the flight?
Oh, they've delayed the flight for 2 hours. So I was supposed to fly at 23:30, but now I've got to wait until 1:30. And that's if they don't decide to cancel the stupid thing. I swear, I might just drive to the hospital. It'd probably be quicker than waiting for this stupid flight.
Well, it's okay. You'll get here when you get here. We don't want another accident to happen by you rushing too much.
You're right. I'm just frustrated and worried. How is he doing?
Actually, he's woken up. He's asked me to send you some messages on his behalf.
He's awake? That's great. How is he feeling?
He's a little groggy, but that's to be expected from all of the pain medication. He's been asking after you, though.
You just tell him that I'll be there soon, that I'm trying my hardest to get to him, and that he doesn't need to worry, as I'll be there within the next few hours.
Okay, I'll let him know.
Also, tell him that I'm sorry about the argument earlier today. I didn't want to get into a fight with him, and it all just got a little heated. I'll also apologize in person when I get to the hospital, but I just wanted him to know I was sorry.
He says that he's sorry as well. He said some things that were totally out of line and that he doesn't believe in at all.
It's okay. We both said things we didn't mean, like how I want him out of my life. I don't want to lose him. I love him.
He says that he loves you too.
God, tell him that I've missed him these last few months, that I absolutely hate my new job and the city that I'm living in. I just want to be back with him. That's all I want.
Jason says that's all he wants as well. He's missed you too.
Okay then, we'll sort it out. But for now, tell him to just rest. I'll be there soon and I won't ever leave him again.
Never?
Not unless he wants me to. I'm afraid he's going to be stuck with me.
He says he likes the sound of that.
And he doesn't need to worry about anything. We'll figure everything out in time. Paralyzed or not, I love him and I'm going to be with him. I've already started doing research into how to live with paralysis and all the different physio activities that he can do to maintain a healthy lifestyle. I've also looked into different ways for him to get about, like an electric mobility chair. That way he will still have his independence. It costs a little bit of money, but it's nothing that we can't figure out together. Anything to make his life easier for him. Also, I've already started looking for quotes on how much it'll take to make the house suitable for him. The downstairs bathroom and stuff like that.
Fleur says to relax. You'll work it all out together when you get here. Also, isn't your flight soon? Make sure you don't miss it.
Don't worry, I'm already at the gate. I will literally be the first one on that plane when it gets here. I can't wait to see Jason.
He says he can't wait to see you either. I've got to go now, though. The nurse just told me that visiting hours are over, so I've got to leave.
Okay, well, tell Jason I love him and that I'll see him at the next visitor's time. Okay?
Okay. And Fleur?
Yes, Angela?
Thank you. We've all missed you.
I've missed all of you as well. I'll see you soon. I promise.
See you soon.
I rushed over to Jason as soon as I could. Once I was in the hospital, I promised not to leave his side at all. Even when visiting hours were over, I would stay and sleep in the chair beside his bed. Sadly, the doctors were right in their prognosis that Jason would be paralyzed below the waist for the rest of his life. However, I did not let it stop me. The accident made me realize just how much I actually love Jason, and I couldn't fathom a life without him. Whilst we might still have our difficulties, we have begun to see a therapist together, and we are slowly but surely working out the kinks in our relationship so that we can be together happily. I have also taken up helping Jason adjust to his new life in a wheelchair. It's been difficult going, as it is a completely new way of life for him, but we are slowly making progress. We have also both quit our jobs and are looking at starting our own business together. That way, we are actually able to spend more time together than apart. It's going to be a long journey, but there is no one else in this world that I would rather take this journey with than Jason. I realize that the best things in life are worth fighting for, and whilst it's easy to leave and split from someone, if you want a proper relationship in life, you need to work through the tough times together. And that's how you build trust and loyalty in one another and take your relationship to the next level.